The people that respond are the same though. They're single digits nowadays. Like, this is insane. There's so few of them now. It's just incredible, bro. They've literally died. They're almost extinct. There's only a few of them left.
But you didn't rape me, right?
I did not. I would never do
Tell
this.
me, prove it.
How do I prove I didn't rape? What do you mean?
Prove it.
I'll do a lie detector test. I'll do a polygraph. I'll do rape kit. Whatever.
I was never raped. That'd be really bad if you didn't do anything.
Allegations, allegations, allegations. While so much has happened since I released EBZ versus the World,
we're keeping it professional.
at the same time, it really does seem like not much has happened at all. Ice Poseidon continues to get exposed as a creep, nothing new there. Only Use Me Blade had continued his debauchery but seemed to level up with the Gucci's incident.
Hi guys, I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
And the much touted RV Trip 4 resulted in the cast purchasing a lemon that requires way more money and maintenance than its initial purchase price.
Those bumps and those like rough roads.
Yeah.
Since the suspension is just on this thing, I think the tire is rubbing up against the floor and the wheel well, and it's cutting it up. That's gonna literally make this thing useless.
Keep in mind, they bought this in Compton. It could just be me, but the overall lack of content this summer compared to IRL summers of past is not entirely made up by multiple exposés. It's dull, boring, and lacking overall effort. Boneclinks' passive-aggressive statements are catching up to him.
I slept on this chair and I got horrible back pain and sciasis, or not sciasis, sciatic nerve pain down my foot was completely numb when I woke up, and then I tried sleeping in those other chairs and I couldn't, and I slept kind of on the side, I couldn't, so then I slept on the floor. I was on the floor all night.
You should have just woke me up. I would have took the chair.
No, it's fine. You never get to sleep in the bed. You deserve it.
And well, this next sleep, we'll figure something else out. I'll sleep in the chair again.
The whole RV cast is beyond exhausted and dehydrated, but they press on. I've got to give them kudos for continuing despite them all being banned from PayPal and Streamlabs. Still, completely scrapping the Google document for RV trip activities has hurt their viewership and shown how little they put into their streams. Face cam and baiting donations mixed in with the odd, funny statements from Blade and Bjorn. Really, not much to see here. The current RV trip pales in comparison to every single RV trip in the past. Everyone agreed that they needed females on this RV trip. At the time, everyone also agreed that Gucci's apparent mental illness could provide for great content, judging by her past appearances on streams. This was, in hindsight, as most things are, a poor decision. You see, Gucci's had a band of rejects like Ganville and Schmiggy, who are both notorious doxers and swatters, all up in her ears, spewing ways that they could take the RV down once and for all.
Gucci's, remember you said your dad whacked you.
What? I never said that.
Thank you.
Gucci's, remember you said your dad whacked you.
You actually did say that.
Thank you.
DX loves you Gucci's, we did it boys, DX we out here. DX loves you Gucci's, we did it boys, DX we out here.
Shout out to
DX loves you
DX,
Gucci's.
niggas, and Boys
DX in
2.0.
chat.
Combine that with Blade's serial groping and the stage was set for disaster. Everyone knows Blade gropes. Everyone expected Blade to grope, but people didn't expect Blade to potentially escalate his behavior. This is where it all went wrong. Whether it's awfully timed rape jokes or just a coincidence,
You've been raped. No. You should be.
the evidence quickly piled up against Only Use Me Blade for not so stealthily slipping into the back bedroom where one Gucci's was passed out drunk. Oh, did I mention moments before his departure to the bed with the passed out mentally ill woman, he nonchalantly asked Bjorn if he could in fact have sex with her.
You gotta go have sex real quick? What? You gotta go have sex real quick? Is that allowed?
I mean, you literally cannot make this shit up. In a world where the majority of sexual predators like Blade often go years without being caught, it seemed like his fate was sealed with the combination of his groping ways and establishing that he wanted to have sex with her, a joke or not. He then proceeds to quote-unquote sleep beside her while continuously closing the blinds. At the onset, the Blade situation seemed like it was an open and shut case. However, quite literally all of the evidence against him is circumstantial, and since Gucci's was inebriated past the ability to remember, the answer will likely forever remain unknown. Do I personally think Blade assaulted this woman? I'm not so sure. Blade's character is quite timid and not very aggressive. Sure, he inappropriately touches women and has a history of being a bit of an incel creep, but taking it the distance and actually assaulting a non-consenting woman would be a large escalation. Do I think it's beyond the realm of possibility? Absolutely not. But what do I know as a viewer in all reality? But I could see him doing something. What though? Nothing can be proven, as there's no direct evidence saying he did something. In cases like this, typically you would go to the victim, but the victim can't remember anything. So, like most things like this that have happened in the past, this will probably die out and Blade will continue to hurt his body for donations. Gucci's has a history of lies and being pretty insane. Add to the fact that she had her hell-bent Discord friends in her ear telling her to report it so that they could satisfy their own agenda, doesn't exactly make a compelling case against Blade. Whether or not the police will actually look into the Discord logs and discover the real truth underneath all these accusations, or whether they're just going to wait for the rape kit to come back as a negative and close the case, still remains to be unseen. Thus far, it's been weeks of no development. IP2 has moved on, and so has the RV cast, including Blade. Besides, IP2 has their true target still in their sights, Ice Poseidon, who was, to no surprise, recently exposed for potentially grooming a 13-year-old stream sniper. Memeology 101 has a video on it that's gaining some traction. I will leave a link for that in the description below. Ice is also trending on a variety of different subreddits. The thing is, not one person is surprised. What is surprising is that typically nothing happens when these things become public, specifically for Ice or Ice's old cast members. Ice has been in pedo hot water before, to which nothing came of. IP2 has retained Chris Hansen to look into it, but that's as far as it goes right now. I'd be willing to bet Chris Hansen would look into just about anything sent his way right now, as he's trying to rebuild his lost career here on YouTube. Chris Hansen looking into the Only Use Me Blade incident, or even this new Ice Poseidon incident, is nothing more than a drove of people, apparently from both sides, sending various information his way.
But already just doing it for a matter of months, you know, I've got people making all kinds of claims, you know, trying to set me up on different things. It's a kind of a creepy world, I gotta tell you. And I've interviewed a lot of creeps in my 37 years as a journalist. I mean,
yes.
What drives this thing? Is it just a look into everybody's badness, darkness?
So before I started doing the IRL streams, like I was known for Call of Duty and playing video games and a little bit of drinking. When I teamed up with Ice Poseidon, like when he invited me out to Florida, I believe it was an influx. Now there were more viewers. I went from 100 viewers to 4,000 viewers, and that's great. But in all honesty, I wish I could go back to before that, because with that many more people, there is a huge army of people that just want to see you get hit by a train. They want to see you end up in the hospital. They want to see you hurt. And it's not all of them. Majority of them just want to be entertained and watch and see how things unfold between people. But there is a large army of people that, like, my phone, like if I turn my phone off airplane mode, my number's been leaked. I went to Verizon Wireless and I asked them how. They said I had over 9,000 non-contact phone calls in the last month from people that just constantly want to bother me.
So that's what I have to look forward to by having you on the show. Huh?
No, I'm not linking your number. Your number's not linked.
I'm teasing.
Yeah.
Anybody can find anything if they're diligent enough.
We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. For those unfamiliar with the recent Ice Poseidon incident, the TLDR version is that Ice was sniped in Japan by a 13-year-old girl who later identified herself on both Discord and Reddit as that 13-year-old stream sniper. Then she had been on Ice's stream in a Discord call before, further confirming her age and fanship of Ice. Very recently, while Ice was streaming, he accidentally exposed his Discord DMs with this girl, and it showed him attempting to coerce her into a threesome with Kimberly and himself, if she could convince Kim. This could be the same situation as Blade asking Bjorn to sleep with Gucci's, then going back into the bed, where Blade was just trying to be edgy in a horrible way, but nothing actually happened. It's also not confirmed that the Strawberry Vision girl in Ice's DMs is the same 13-year-old stream sniper. I've seen a lot of things in my time watching live streamers, and I've also seen a lot of agenda pushing on subreddits that are looking to bury Ice. The truth will come out, but it does look like Ice was trying to arrange a sexual encounter with a minor, just like it looked like Blade had set the stage for sexual assault. The truth does lie somewhere in between all of this. But I'm not certain we as a community will ever get the justice or closure that we seek. The CX Network, everyone!
It's going to shape the rest of my streaming career and the rest of anyone in the CX Network's streaming career as well. So that means you, Burger Planet and EVZ, I'm talking to you.
Only been accused multiple times in the past. Yahoo! The CX effect is very real, and the CX effect seems to have escalated its potency over the last year. In other news, it looks like Blade might have been taken by the FBI and cloned, as he's been frequently shapeshifting on stream. Is the real Blade locked up somewhere at Guantanamo Bay? Is the Blade we see on stream complete with leg holes and his virginity intact? Maybe. Just maybe this Gucci's incident is going to prevent Blade from continuing his grope escapades on women in fear of how it might look. Because it looks bad. Real bad.
Hey Blade! Did you remember to put on your diaper today? No, because I don't do it anymore.
To sum it all up, the RV can typically only make it a few hundred miles before it needs 18 more gallons of oil and 18 more gallons of blinker fluid. Then we have a band of middle-aged men lacking general common sense trying to follow tutorials from chat on maintenance of an RV. And we have hospitable stream snipers saving the day and lending a helping hand. Shout out to Blair and Dro, only to be punched and disrespected by Blade and the crew. My theory on it is that Blade gets angry at these men because they aren't women he can actively hate and abuse. Blade seems to only act out against these stream snipers in the absence of women. Just a theory, however. As for me, some of you know I've been streaming a little bit. I'm also moving in the next month or two, so I'll be quite busy. I have a lot of ideas for interesting topics covering not only the current events of live streaming, but the events of past, such as why the Ice Poseidon universe used to be so fascinating and entertaining. along with going through some of the character developments with Ice, Blade, Bjorn, etc., and just about anyone else loosely involved in the script. There's also new events happening every few days that should be touched upon. EBZ recently came out of the closet, IP2 is in full support of that, and as a result, EBZ has gotten quite good at baiting donations. So, please stay tuned for more analysis on the crazy world of edgy IRL live streaming and leave your suggestions for future videos in the comments below. I hope to see some of you around on the live streams, and I'm planning on getting videos out at least once every couple of weeks with the goal of getting one video out a week. I would prefer to cover the recent events in these videos, but I'm a little bit behind on some of these events. Plus, I have a ton of ideas for content using some old footage. All of that will get done. I hope you choose to stick around, subscribe, turn on post notifications so that you can find out when I'm going live and or when I upload a video, and I'll see everyone in the next one.